And I was thinking back to my teenage years before following Jesus, thinking about this whole concept of sin. And I don't know how this worked for you, but during our lunch period, I used to hang out with friends. We had kind of a whole hour to have lunch, and we would tell stories and catch up and just do whatever during that lunch hour. And we had this new guy enter our lunch table, kind of made his way over. We're getting to know him. And this guy was a neat guy, and he had some different hobbies than I had. He had a kind of a thing for drag racing, his cars. He had like a neon that he souped up and, like dropped down real low. I know, it was great. And I was like, this is fascinating. So you like race other cars. He lived in kind of this city area, kind of an urban area where he would race on the city blocks, and race other people. I was like, really? You do that? It's like Fast and Furious. This is amazing. How does this work? And he would tell us the story, and we're all like a little bit enthralled by the whole thing. And then he'd go, and sometimes we get chased by the police. And I was like, you do? What happens when you get chased by the police? He says, well, here's what I do. Totally played it cool. When I get chased by the police, here's what I do. What I'll do is I'll be speeding along, and I'll take a sharp turn down one of the side streets into a city block, and then I'll go down about 3 or 4 houses, and then I'll take a sharp turn into a driveway, go all the way deep into that driveway. I'll kill the car, shut off the lights, and duck down like this, and the cop will go flying by. I'll never see me. I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way that would work. He's like, totally. I run from the cops, and then I hide. Works every time. I'm like, this is fascinating. Well, this guy's not going to jail, so maybe it's working, I just have this in the back of my head. Mostly we make fun of him, but we listen to his stories. So one night, it's the middle of summer, I had my license for about 9 months. I was running a little bit late, hanging out with some friends, and I was past curfew, and I thought, I got to get home fast, I need to make sure I get home before my parents find out. So I think I was out in Norton area, and I started speeding home very quickly, and right about the time I kind of topped out the speed I was planning to go, it's a really great plan. I was speeding, and all of a sudden, right, the lights start flashing, and I'm like, I'm dead, right? This is just what happens. I'm in trouble. The cop has found me. I am in trouble. I'm speeding. I'm totally guilty. But then all of a sudden, I remembered this really brilliant plan that my friend had flawlessly executed, over and over again. And so I make this really awesome life choice to run from the cops, is what happens. And but I'm not in an urban area. I'm in the country, right? So I'm in Norton, and so I take a right down another country road, and then I just drive down somebody's 250-foot driveway, and pretty much the police officer just like follows me right to it. It's awesome. I go through the whole motions too. I turn the car off, hit the lights, right, do the thing, and He walks, I still can't believe I did this. He walks up to my car, and man, he is so mad. And I was like, my life is over, right? I'm dead. It's pretty much what's going to happen. He walks up to the window, asks me to roll down my window, and he starts just kind of lighting me up, And he even started, he's son, and he said it. He said son. I was like, police officers say that. They call me son. He said, son, you were eluding a police officer of the law. You were breaking the speed limit, disorderly conduct, right? And he writes me up this ticket, and I'm like, just take me to jail. My life is over, right? Like, I don't care what you do to me. So he calls my parents, writes me a ticket, right? One of you is a police officer. You're like, I thought you looked familiar. He writes it all up, and I am guilty as charged. And I was like, whatever needs to happen to me, I just surrender myself to the mercy of you, police officer, right? And that's completely an accurate story. That actually all happened. Isn't that embarrassing? That though, that's exactly what we've been talking about with sin. This is how it is. I'm guilty as charged. I tried to get away with it. I tried to run and hide. I got nothing. This is the idea. We've been saying humanity is created. God made us to love us. He showed us the best way to live. He creates Adam and Eve and you and I. And what happens is we engage sin, and sin is a huge deal.